Welcome back, everyone. It's time for Daybreak and 10 on Color 10.
We are on the air with you for the next 10 minutes without commercials beginning right now. And first, let's head on over to meteorologist Elisa Rafa with our forecast. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, guys. We're starting out with a beautiful sunrise on this Friday. Some bright oranges out there. It is 61 degrees, a very pleasant start. You've got some southerly winds and dew points in the upper 50s. We're a little bit warmer than we were this time yesterday, continuing to tack on a few degrees each day. It's 61 degrees in Springfield, 64 in Monette, and 60 degrees in Mountain Grove. Again, dew points are still pretty pleasant, even though it's a little bit warmer. The humidity staying in control, and it feels good on the Muggy meter map. At the pool today, you're looking at a high spot on at average, 89 degrees, warm, sunny, and really nice as you fire up the grill. A beautiful day to do that. You're looking at a pleasant feel as we head through the evening. Temperatures in the middle and upper 80s today, overnight lows in the 60s, and temperatures around 90 degrees for tomorrow. So hot and sticky weekend ahead. Sunshine both days, will be dry. Highs get back into the lower 90s, so not terribly hot, but just a little bit hotter than we've been. So a sticky weekend ahead. Still little to no rain chances. The next rain chances might come in the way of some tropical showers by late next week as we track two storms headed towards the Gulf of Mexico. Otherwise, we continue to heat up. You're looking at temperatures in the low to middle 90s going into next week. Those overnight lows stay muggy as well, getting back up towards that 70-degree mark. Joe, Jen.
New for you this morning, the Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety is reminding drivers of the importance of not driving while impaired. Nigel McDonald is live this morning with more on this group's message. Nigel.
Yeah, Joe, good morning. The group's message is pretty simple. Drive sober or get pulled over. Now, their campaign begins today and will last until September 7th. Now, to put this into perspective, back in 2019, 184 people were killed and nearly 600 were severely injured in crashes that involved at least one substance-impaired driver. Now, John Nelson works for MoDOT and says impaired driving is a year-round concern in Missouri, but says the goal of this campaign is to help create public awareness to the dangers and consequences of driving while under the influence. He says it's important for people to understand their decisions matter. Nelson says if you plan to go out and drink, you need to establish a plan to get home safe beforehand. He suggests using things like Lyft, Uber. He says some bars will even help in setting you up with a safe ride home.
I think just having a plan beforehand, if you know you're going to go out, we get that. People are going to go out, they're going to have a good time, they're going to celebrate different things. But just think of that plan beforehand, because you get in that state, you're probably not going to come up with that plan whenever you're already impaired and not making sound judgments. So having a friend there, that's going to ensure that plan gets put in place, or a family member, but just taking advantage of those services that are there.
Well, Nelson says to always think about others on the roadways when you get into those kinds of situations. Reporting live in Springfield, Nigel McDonald, Ozarks First.
The 14th annual Hot Air Balloon Glow is happening tonight as a drive-through event and has a new location. You can visit Nix's Macaulay Park from 8 to 9:30. Visitors are invited to drive around the X Center and check out the balloons. Organizers say the pandemic and recommendations for large group events are the reasons for these changes this year. The Hot Air Balloon Glow is a major fundraiser for the Children's Smile Center and is set to raise more than $30,000 that will help give children access to better dental care.
To some news around the region for you as work continues. At the site of Cape Girardeau's new City Hall, a controversial monument is gone. Construction crews boxed up and moved the monument dedicated to Confederate soldiers who died during the Civil War. It has been put in a secure facility for storage for now. As for what will happen to it in the future, that will be discussed in a future city council meeting there.
News from around America. Actress Lori Loughlin and her husband are expected to be sentenced today for their roles in a college admissions scandal. Federal prosecutors want the actress to be sentenced to 2 months in prison, while her husband could get 5 months behind bars. The sentencing follows agreed upon terms after the couple pleaded guilty to conspiracy charges in May.
The Justice Department is asking the Supreme Court to review the decision to vacate the death sentence for the convicted Boston Marathon bomber. U.S. Attorney Andrew Lelling says he hopes this will result in the reinstatement of the original sentence. A federal appeals court in July ruled to vacate that sentence, which means the bomber could be given a new penalty phase trial with new jurors. The court said he will at least remain in federal prison for the remainder of his life.
At least 4 people have died as the LNU Lightning Complex fire continues to grow in California. Authorities say 3 people in Napa County and 1 person in Solano County have died. The fire has grown to more than 215,000 acres and remains at 0% containment. 480 structures have been destroyed and damaged another 125. More than 30,000 structures remain threatened by the wildfires.
And in some news from around the world, health authorities in Beijing, China, have removed a requirement for people to wear masks outdoors as the city reported 13 straight days without any new coronavirus cases. Despite the relaxed guidelines, though, a large portion of people continued to wear them outdoors in Beijing earlier today. Some said the masks still make them feel safe, while others said social pressures to wear them were also a factor there.
A Panama-flagged tanker, which is believed to have been hijacked, was pictured in the Gulf of Aden off Somalia. 6 armed men seized the ship late Wednesday after it had engine problems. Authorities say this is the first successful hijacking since 2017 and that 20 crew members are on board. Pictures show the small tanker that carries chemical or crude products at anchor off Barita.
Area first responders can visit Cox Health hospitals over the next 4 Fridays for free lunch as part of the hospital's annual salute to first responders. It starts today at Cox Monette from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. No RSVP is required, but the meal will be served to go rather than dine in. Cox Branson will host on the 28th. That's followed by Cox Barton County on September 4th and Cox North on September 11th.
Borough Behavioral Health is hosting a virtual back-to-school event today. They will be offering free mental health resources for students, families, and teachers. The resources include a free 30-minute summit at noon on Facebook Live and a downloadable handbook. You can find more information and the handbook at boroughcenter.com/back-to-school.
The Springfield-Greene County Health Department will be holding a news briefing this afternoon at 2:30. Health Director Clay Goddard and Springfield Police Chief Paul Williams are scheduled to talk about the enforcement of the city's current phase on the road to recovery. Make sure to tune in here on Color 10 at 2:30. You can also watch, though, on our website, ozarksfirst.com.
Now here's a look at what's coming up after Daybreak.
Coming up, now that Joe Biden's his party's nominee for president, we'll talk to Vice President Mike Pence about next week's Republican convention. Plus, 100 years ago, American women got the right to vote. A look at the future of women's rights coming up on CBS This Morning.
All right, final weekend for a lot of kids before back to school. How's it going to look?
Hot and sticky, a really nice, really summery weekend, really. Sunshine and highs in the lower 90s.
Hot and sticky is all we have to know, I guess, for the weekend. Thanks for joining us.